The Border Management Authority says its processing systems at OR Tambo International Airport are fully operational, and it follows reports of delays in international flights due to a malfunctioning of the biometric system. Let's get some clarity for you now from the Border Management Authority's Deputy Assistant Commissioner of Communications and Marketing. This is Mmemme Mogotsi. Mmemme, good morning. Thank you very much for your time. You say that you want to speak out about the misinformation that relates to the apparent delays that are caused by transitioning of the biometric system at ORT International Airport. Just give us some background as to what's been put out there and its effect.
Thank you, Iman. Thank you for having me. You know, yesterday we received, we're inundated with calls from different travelers and stakeholders where there was some information that was communicated to us relating to our system transition. And we noted that this was misinformation. The reports were false in terms of alluding that we are migrating to a system. If you would know, Iman, that our systems have been implemented in the airports. We have a biometric movement control system that we have implemented many years ago that we are currently using. So we were inundated and the calls were coming through, causing panic and concerning amongst travelers and stakeholders. So we had to put out information to dispel this misinformation and highlight that there are no delays. Our ports of entry processing moving systems are moving smoothly across all our ports of entry. OR Tambo is one of our busiest airports, and our systems at immigration is fully operational, and it is designed to handle high volume of traffic efficiency.
So just, I think what might be useful for the public is just to share with us, Mmemme, just exactly, Mmemme, how the system works. When you land, what happens, and the efficiencies that you say are optimal and are working as they always have.
Yes, Iman, when you land at the airport, you go through access control. That's the first port of entry where you go through. You go through access control. From then on, you present yourself in front of an immigration official to ensure that your passport is stamped and confirm that you are now entering the country. From then on, you present yourself to customs where you need to actually now present the goods that you are declaring from the country that you are traveling from. So in the past few days, we have been seeing increased traffic movements, but our queues are manageable in terms of records indicating that the average processing times at our OR Tambo Airport, they are within acceptable international standards. So there hasn't been any challenge in this regard that has been reported. But yesterday we saw some information circulating to us and to our stakeholders, to many travelers from 2 or 3 different stakeholders, and highlighting that there are delays and that passengers need to prepare 4 hours before departure. When they approach the airports, they need to be at the airport 4 hours before. They need to be at the airport 6 hours before, which was misleading in terms of the systems that we are implementing. We do have our biometric system. So in the immigration section where the passengers present themselves to immigration officers, their fingerprints are taken, all their data is taken, and it's recorded in terms of the purpose of them entering the country and the next destination that they are going through within the country and the accommodation that they are utilizing. If it's arriving passengers, they are just being welcomed in the country and their passports are being stamped.
So as you say, this is a false alarm. Systems are working efficiently. The optimal turnaround times are there. You're dealing with high volumes, but you're perfectly capable. The systems are perfectly capable of processing all of those coming in. And the notion that you would now have to come to the airport many hours earlier is false. You can stick to, and I think for international, it's conventionally around two hours, and for, well, domestic flights obviously doesn't apply. But in terms of those international arrivals and departures, you would come as normal.
Yes, you would come as normal, and that there are no system challenges at OR Tambo and any of our ports, contrary to the reports that have been made in the public space.
Do you know where these reports might have emanated from? I mean, as you say, it's caused a little bit of a headache for you with concerns from would-be travelers. And maybe if there's time, we'll talk a little bit later about where these concerns were coming from via the tour operators or, you know, whether it was, you know, directly to the BMA from would-be travelers. But, you know, where this is a headache that's been caused for you. Have you been able to identify who's been putting this out?
We haven't been able to identify the sources of that information. We have noted like some social media tweets, as well as, you know, a lot of travelers that were engaging us on our social media platforms. Some were calling our offices, inquiring in terms of, you know, if there are any glitches at our airports. And we were not able to determine where the information is coming from. But you'd remember, Iman, that, you know, we've been experiencing challenges with some interceptions at the airports, at OR Tambo mainly, in the past few weeks, where there were a number of unauthorized travelers trying to enter the country illegally. So it is a suspicion that there could be some information that was trying to derail our systems and refocusing us to other issues while we're supposed to be doing our law enforcement. But we want to assure the viewers that, you know, our law enforcement activities are prioritized at all the airports, and safety and security of our passengers is our priority. And we want to encourage the public to really rely on us as the BMA on official communication that we are taking out, so that they receive the accurate information that we are dispersing.
Yeah, I mean, and when you talk about enforcement, you're one of the latest, you know, successes, I would say, in terms of border management controls were the interception of some foreign nationals at OR TIA. I think a group of 10 who arrived in Johannesburg without their documentation. So as you say, you're vigilant and you're able to deal with things as they transpire. Just again, in terms of the public service, Mmemme, if you want to make any announcements or if people want to know officially what the position is, where can they go as an updated and current resource from border management or any of the other agencies that work with you to get accurate and current information?
We have our website that is very interactive, Iman. It's www.bma.gov.za. And our contact details are also on a number of social media platforms. At the BMA_SA is our Twitter profile. So we have a lot of information that we are dispersing through that platform. And that is accurate information that comes from official accounts of the BMA.
Mmemme Mogotsi, thank you very much for talking to us this morning. Appreciate that announcement and the update dispelling misinformation on the processing systems at OR TIA, saying everything is working as normal. They're able to process high volume arrivals in South Africa, and suspecting that there might be untoward or nefarious agendas at play in terms of putting out that particular piece of information. So we hope that we've cleared that up for anyone who had concerns about traveling to South Africa or coming across the border.